Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you the initial checkout of a Spirit of St. Louis telephone. These are not only just a telephone, they're a speakerphone too. And this is Chris's telephone from Arizona. And he's got a note here. He's saying that the handset does not work, cannot hear anyone that calls you, and when the speakerphone is on, the caller cannot hear you. And so basically this is the initial checkout of this telephone. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and ring the telephone. And we know his light is lighting when the ringer is on. We can turn the ringer off. We can turn it back on. We can turn it down. And back up. So now we want to go ahead and answer it. Try to give you some dial tone, but there is no dial tone. So now what we want to do is we want to walk through our numbers. And if you look at the analyzer, you'll see the numbers go by. I'm going to end in a 2. I'm going to go ahead and hit flash and redial. And that should end in a 2. Okay, now what I want to do is transmit into the handset. And if you watch this red light here on the analyzer, every time you see that red light, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. So we know that this telephone is dialing out. We know it's ringing, and we know that it has transmit, but it does not have any receive. And in his note here, he says the caller cannot hear you. So these telephones were not known for their speakerphone capability, really. Basically because the mic, I have the phone sitting up now because I have it propped up, and I always thought it was a poor design on these telephones that they sat flat on the table. And I actually have this one propped up. They should have had some kind of a feet in the back or some type of bracket that would set the telephone up like it is right now, more facing you, so it would be a little easier to use. You could add something to it to where it would keep the telephone up, but what you have to think about on the microphone on these is the microphone element is located right here, and it's actually pointing straight up. So if this telephone is sitting on a table and you're not too close to it, you're talking across the microphone and not into it. The microphone should have been aimed out the side of the telephone so that when you speak at the telephone, it would pick your voice up better. Now, they're not too bad on the volume of receive, but these were always low on the microphone level, and you also have to watch how far away you were with it, because if you were talking to the telephone on the speakerphone, your voice goes across it and not into it. So I don't see, because this is the initial checkout, and I have checked it out off the video a little bit, and I know that the telephone does have transmit with a speakerphone. It's not the greatest, but you're not really supposed to be too far away from these telephones when you're talking. So we'll go ahead and do the speakerphone option. I'll hit redial. So we know that the speakerphone is actually working. We're going to let it finish off and end in 2. I want to turn off the speakerphone, and I want to use the volume control. And sometimes you'll get a little feedback. That's not uncommon with these units. But I want to hit it 2, and then I want to tap. And And if you watch this red light here, I'm actually talking right now towards the phone, and you can see that that red light on the analyzer comes on. Now, the closer I pull this telephone to me, the better it's actually going to get. And if I've got it more or less faced towards me, it's going to pick my voice up. So you can see that red light on an analyzer. So it is working, and I'm going to test it out a little more. But I work on a lot of these telephones, and I kind of know how they are from experience. And that's basically a little better than even some of them are to begin with. So there's not too much more you're going to be able to do to this telephone on the speakerphone, except for maybe aim it more towards your way when you're talking on it, or get a little closer to it, because they were not the greatest on the transmit out. It's just one of the fallbacks, because this telephone doesn't have any batteries, and it doesn't have any kind of a power supply. It's working off the line voltage. And I suspect that if it was a power supply board with batteries or a power supply, you would have a much better talk power and on speakerphone option. But I will test it out a little more. I want to talk to some people on it, but just from experience, I know for a fact that the speakerphones for these are not the greatest. And that's just a fallback to it. It's a very sought-after telephone, but it is a novelty, and that's just the situation. There's nothing you can do about it. But what we do want to do is take a short break, because I have to troubleshoot this telephone and find out why it has no receive. So we definitely want to go through that, and we'll get some more video of this telephone as soon as I finish troubleshooting. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up repairing this telephone. The one on the left is Chris's telephone, and the one on the right is another customer's telephone. And like I was saying earlier in the video, that this telephone on speakerphone is even a little better than most of them that I see, which is in a normal realm of amplification for transmit on the speakerphone situation. So what we want to do here is I want to take the customer, another customer's telephone, and I want to hit speakerphone. I want to take away dial tone, and if you watch this red light here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can see it light when I tap on it or whistle. But when I talk, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hello, hello, you can barely see anything happening with the transmit light. Now watch what happens when I talk on Chris's telephone. I'm going to take dial tone away. See how much brighter that light is when I speak? Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hello, 1, 2, 3. This telephone of Chris's actually works better than the other customer's telephone. So basically what that tells you, and I'm going to tap on the mic, then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take the other customer's telephone, and that light is not as bright on the tap or the whistles. So that's what I wanted to show you. It's hard to just talk about it, and when you see it for yourself, you kind of get the understanding that with these speakerphones, they were not really known for their capability on transmit, and some of them doesn't even have a very good volume for receive on the speakerphone option. So they were more of a novelty than they were an actual speakerphone. Are they good phones? They're great phones, and they're highly collectible. The problem is the speakerphone, since it's not battery driven, and since it's not power driven in any way, and it's just driven by the line current, this is the kind of thing you get. They don't have enough amplification receive for the transmit on the speakerphone option. As far as a working telephone, they work great. So we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to be right back to you. I want to remove this customer's telephone, and we want to do the final checks with Chris's telephone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now. So what we want to do is we want to do our final checks with this telephone since it has been repaired. So we'll go ahead and start our final checks. We'll ring the phone. Let that go a couple times. Give you some dial tone. We'll walk through our numbers. I'm going to end in a 2. And I want to transmit into the handset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that we have dial tone now, that the telephone has been repaired and it's fully functional. Give you some dial tone. We want to hit speakerphone, redial. It'll end in a 2. Tap on the microphone. So, like earlier in the video, we know that this telephone actually has a better pickup than the other telephone. So it is working within the realm of a speakerphone of this nature. It's just what happens with them. They're just not that great speakerphone. As a phone, they're a really good telephone. It has plenty of receive volume in the handset and plenty of talk power. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. So we know that the telephone is working now and it's fully functional and it's been repaired. Let's go ahead and call a time and temp number. And we'll plug it into a regular telephone line. Give you some dial tone.
Anytime at Offenburg.com. A short drive to great value. Today is Wednesday, November 21st. The time is 1:31. Current temperature 54 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Mostly clear tonight and Wednesday. Low tonight around 40. Wednesday high mid-60s.
Okay. We can call one other number. We'll call my number and it'll be busy. Use some dial tone. We'll go ahead and use speakerphone.
Good morning. Shop online anytime at Offenburg.com. A short drive to great value. Today is Wednesday, November 21st. The time is 1:32. Current temperature 54 degrees. Now the Belleville area weather forecast. Mostly clear tonight and Wednesday. Low tonight around 40. Wednesday's high mid-60s.
Okay. So we know that this telephone is working. And you will get some feedback. That was another fallback to these telephones. They have a speaker volume here. And you have to kind of set that because you will get some feedback in the speakerphone mode. It was just a little fallback to this telephone was the same kind of thing. You'd get a little feedback on these, and you kind of had to set up your speaker volume every call, or either set it and leave it alone and kind of be comfortable with anything, the way you set it. So other than that, these telephones are highly collectible. They're very sought after, and they are really a great phone. The speakerphone was not the best. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.